now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you are able for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, he's actually there right now. He's so good. Now we're just sitting here.
And now we wish to take an opportunity to recognize our senior band members and to thank them for their talent, dedication, and service that they have given to Highland High School. This is also a time to thank our band parents and guardians for their many years of encouragement and support of their students and the Highland Instrumental Music Program. We ask that you please hold your applause until after all of our senior class members and escorts have been introduced.
Trumpet, escorted by Jim and Rachel Akers and Logan Akers. Derek Boge, trombone, escorted by Roger Boge and Melanie Boge. Brianna Cyphers, clarinet, escorted by Brian Cyphers and Denise Cyphers. Adelaide Colburn, quints, and Troy Colburn, cymbals, escorted by Joni and Rob Colburn. Olivia Cole, flute, escorted by Christine and Mark Cole. Nadezhda Ditchy, flute, escorted by Yana and Tim Ditchy. Anthony Ferguson, trumpet, escorted by Michael and Elizabeth Ferguson. Lauren Finding, snare drum, and Camden Finding, trombone, escorted by Lena Battelle and Corey Finding. Sammy George, snare drum, escorted by David and Barbara George. Caitlin Gray, trumpet, escorted by Joe and Meredith Gray. Marissa Howard, trumpet, escorted by Lacey Howard and Eric Howard. Demian Kalavashko, quints, escorted by Ola and Nazar Kalavashko. Laura Linger, clarinet, escorted by Tim and Holly Linger. Luke Marinelli, alto saxophone, escorted by Kim Davey and Greg Marinelli. Benjamin Miller, alto saxophone, escorted by Emily and Kevin Miller. Eliza Miller, snare drum, escorted by Steve Miller and Catherine Miller. Megan Mino, clarinet, escorted by Aaron and Larry Mino. Max Anopko, trumpet, escorted by Oksana Ivanushchek. Mackenzie Pollock, mellophone, escorted by Connie and Rick Pollock. Logan Simon, clarinet, escorted by Adam Simon and Sherry Simon. Matthew Steinbrink, trumpet, escorted by Chris Steinbrink and Brian Steinbrink. Kylie Studd, flute, escorted by Adrian Rastock and Toby Moon. Steven Stupecki, bass drum, escorted by Heather Stupecki and Joseph Stupecki. Brandon Swarm, cymbals, escorted by Dee Dee Swarm and James Swarm. Haley Thacker, clarinet, escorted by Gina and Sondi Thacker. Emma Walter, baritone, escorted by David and Debbie Walter. Isaiah Wida, trombone, escorted by Derek Wida and Lauren Wida.
Kids are ringing your birthday. Are they coming out? I did it like 3 times last week whenever I was watching. I kept cutting to the coaches or the commentators.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting evening of Hornet football. On behalf of Superintendent Kathy Ackerman, Principal Terry Knapp, and the entire Highland staff, I'd like to welcome you to
Good evening and welcome to Highland High School, North Gateway Tire Field. I'm Jay Grissom along with my partner Brandon Lipchek. How you doing, buddy?
I'll tell you what, it was a pleasure being with you last week, Jay, and I've been looking forward to this week all week long, man.
Yes. So, obviously we got some weather here, so hopefully those of you that decided to stay home, curl up, enjoy some football tonight, and stay dry. We got some hardy folks out here, but awesome to celebrate our senior band members there to start the night off. And and get going with some football here.
I think they said 30 seniors in the band. That was really neat.
That's a good number.
What else is neat, Jay, is that the weather seems like it might have passed us a little bit here, and it's maybe dried up a little bit. We'll see what happens. We got a good matchup today, though.
Yes, and as we see the Hornets take the field, yeah, an interesting matchup, right? You know, Brunswick, a neighboring rival, and you know, we've had a series with them for a long time, so always good to get the backyard rivalry going.
Well, and Brunswick started off 0-2, and Highland started off 2-0. But this is a new game. You know, you got a new coach coming into Brunswick, Cole Carter, young guy, great player down at Capital University himself, and I think that he's injected some positive energy into this program. Looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, it's an interesting story, and I know we'll get into a little bit more of his story later, but a young guy, a lot of energy. I've heard nothing but good things about what's going on at Brunswick, so certainly exciting times at Brunswick and their football program.
And, you know, Highland has won the last 5 of these matchups I saw, but like you and I were talking earlier, that doesn't have much of a bearing on tonight's game.
No, the scoreboard says nothing right now.
It sure does. I might take a minute, Jay.
That's perfect.
To give a great shout out to our sponsor, Amanda Pfahl from the State Farm Insurance Agency, and Amanda and her experienced team of licensed agents have been serving the Highland community for 19 years from her office in Hinckley. Amanda opened her business in 2006 and is a second-generation State Farm agent. She attended Bowling Green State University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in communication. She's a local resident of Granger, a proud wife and mother of 2 children. She sits on the board of the Highland Foundation for Educational Excellence and believes highly in giving back to her local community. You'll often see her with her family at local sporting events and supporting happenings throughout the community. So we'll hear more about Amanda as this game unfolds, but we're appreciative that she helps to make these things happen.
Yeah, it's awesome for, you know, she's so involved with everything here at Highland, and to be able to bring these live streams to you, you know, just a big thanks to her. And it's almost football time. Brunswick won the toss and elected to defer their decision to the second half. So Highland will be receiving the opening kickoff tonight. Gonna be an interesting ball game tonight. You know, we got 2 very different teams. You know, an interesting matchup. But at the end of the day, you know, it's going to come down to execution, and we're going to talk a little bit about the weather and everything else, but there's a lot going on here tonight.
Well, in a little bit, I think we'll show our keys to the game, but I could tell you one thing, that Brunswick has a senior class that they've been excited about for a bunch of years, that have had success at the lower levels, and they're looking forward to this ball game. There's the kick.
The ball is kicked into the end zone. Hornets will take over at the 20-yard line. That was Vincenzo Di Tadaro on the kickoff for Brunswick. A lot of touchbacks early in the season.
Well, that guy's the real deal kicker.
Yes.
You saw that 48-yarder he made last week, and one of the longest field goals in Medina County history.
Right.
We've seen some good kickers so far this year.
So here we go. Hornets come out. 2 receivers to the left. Got a tight end right, Borla in the backfield. Miser in a pistol formation. Borla takes a snap, quick throw out in the flat. That's Evan Faust.
Brought down by number 24, Landon Kirchner.
Hey, nice job there. You know, just in and out of his hands, get a little, like we talked about a little bit last week, but a little confidence early, easy completion, picks up 9 yards.
I think everybody in the stadium thought that Miser would get that ball, so that's a good first play call.
This will be Miser on a power to the left. He's got a hole to the 40.
Wow.
And he is gone. So 2 plays in, Hornets 80-yard drive.
71-yard touchdown run on second and 1.
So they brought Faust into the backfield as a lead blocker on that play, and hole opened up. Casey found a seam, and Hornets get on the board early.
I don't know if he was untouched, but he that was really good up front by the guys, Noonan and Zywick and Nowak and the crew.
Yeah, nice job up front, opening up a hole early. Calza in for the extra point, and it is up and good. Snap by Josh Arvanites and Grady Gibb on the hold. So Hornets take a quick 7-0 lead with 11 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first. Here's a replay.
Yeah.
Just a lead block there. It was a nice job there by Evan Faust up in the hole, got to a linebacker. That's all Casey needed.
Well, I heard the coaches talking, Jay, about Miser's ability to be patient and then his ability to hit the hole and hit it hard and fast. And I think that's exactly what he did on that play.
Yeah, and you know, you've got a lead block, did a nice job letting that play set up, and once he got a seam, he shifted into gear and got going. So Calza in to kick off.
Well, when you script those first plays like we talked about last week, you don't anticipate that, but every play, as you know, Jay, being a former player, every play is designed to go into the end zone.
That's right.
And that's how you block them, and that's what happened on that play. So that Swarm is back there with number 14 who caught the ball.
Working off to his right. Got a little bit of room. That was a nice tackle there.
Aiden Kotopinski on the return there.
And that was Dylan Lazar on the tackle. You know, we saw him late in the game last week getting some carries. You know, that young man plays hard, and a nice open field tackle. It looked like he had a little bit of room, but he's able to cut him down at the 24-yard line where the Blue Devils will take over.
Well, now we get to see the Brunswick offense and the Highland defense. And this Highland defense sure comes in here with not only momentum from this year, but the past couple of years. They've built themselves a reputation as being a stout, solid, hardcore unit that, again, starts up front.
So we did get a holding penalty on that kickoff. It's going to back the Blue Devils up to the 12-yard line. So Sean Barnett in the shotgun. Cooper Neal in motion.
It's by a host of tacklers led by Evan Faust, I believe.
The carry was, Eli Nichols on the carry there.
You'll hear his name a lot both ways.
Good athlete.
Good at Highland. Brunswick has a bunch of good athletes, and they're not afraid to play the guys both ways. There's about 5 or 6 kids that will go both ways, and he's one of them. Second and long here, though, backed up in their own territory, so they don't. You don't like that as a play caller. 4 guys split out left.
You got an empty for Barnett.
Kovalik in motion, and he gets it.
Gets it on a jet sweep.
Nowhere to go.
That Highland defense.
I don't know who that end was, but the end sure sealed things off over there.
Yeah, nice job in contain.
Yeah.
On that side, I believe that was Caleb McKean.
Yeah, that's McKean.
And just nowhere to go on that. You know, you come out and empty. You're thinking pass, but they bring that jet motion, get it to him quick. Caleb did a nice job staying home, turning that thing back inside where all his defenders were in pursuit. So 3rd and about 9.5. And we've got a whistle and a flag.
It looks like offsides on Highland. Did we jump in the neutral zone maybe, or I didn't even see it.
I did not see it either. But that will make it a 3rd and 5. Opens up some options
I was just going to say the same thing
for the Blue Devil offense.
man, if you're Brunswick, you need a first down pretty bad here to curb some of the early momentum.
Right. You need a couple first downs trying to flip the field a little bit. Hornets jump again. They're pointing. Everybody's pointing both directions.
The Hornets were pointing at 77, and I don't know what the refs are pointing to. Let's see. Yeah. Well, that's on Highland, and is that going to be I think that's going to be a first down.
I think they're going to be
yeah.
They are going to award the first down. Okay.
You know what? That just comes from you wait all week for this game. You're a D lineman. You're amped up.
Right.
And I don't want to say I get it, but I get it.
And that's huge, like you were saying. That's huge for the Blue Devils offense. Get out of the shadow of their own goal line there and give themselves some room to work.
How they got two guys back there, Nichols and Kovalik.
He's setting up a double pass, and that ball is overthrown. Intended for number 5, Colin Kovalik, coming out of the backfield.
If that is 5, which it is, he came out of the backfield. It must have been like a wheel route.
So an interesting play design there.
Well, we've talked about how teams are looking to capitalize on our aggressive defense, and that could happen, and they almost did. He was 5 yards behind us there.
He definitely had a couple steps on the defense there. Jet motion from Neal, fake to him, throw a little bubble screen.
Oh, Swarm got hit real hard.
That was Garrett Phillips. I believe that was Garrett Phillips and Josh Arvanites coming in.
Yeah, the two safeties came in.
So that was well read and triggered on real quick by the safeties.
A little inside screen, well executed on both sides, really.
And you're seeing how Brunswick's going to use Cooper Neal. They're going to bring him in motion. They're going to try and get the ball in his hands in multiple ways, but they're also going to use him as a decoy. Quick slant to Cooper Neal. He's lined up in that slot position, just found an opening in the zone there, picks up about 6 or 7, and that's good for a Brunswick first down.
That Cooper Neal's another two-way player, old school player. He plays 100% every play I saw in his last couple games, cornerback and receiver.
Another very good athlete that plays the game the right way. So 2 backs in the backfield with Barnett. 2 receivers left, 1 to the bottom. They're going to go with a power off the left-hand side, and there's nowhere to go. 4 hats on the ball there.
Well, Brunswick run a spread offense. They throw the ball a lot. So then they try to mix in that run, and they need to establish that run. They know they need to. They haven't been able to yet, but they're probably going to keep trying, Jay.
So they go a loss of about 1.5 yards. Carson Noonan, the first man there for the Hornets. 2 receivers on either side of the formation here. Barnett back to pass.
That's Kovalik, brought down quickly by Garrett Phillips and Evan Faust for about a 6-yard gain.
So we're seeing, too, a little bit what they're looking to do in the passing game. I mean, this is similar to what we saw last week with North Royalton. In and out of the hands, 5-yard stops, 5-yard outs.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to try and hold up to that pass rush in a 5 or 7-step drop. So in and out of his hands.
Good call, Coach.
Take the 6 yards where you can get them.
Nobody's going to want to do 7-step drops and have to contain this D-line for 4 or 5 seconds, right? Quick hitters is what we're seeing.
Motion to empty, and that's a little quarterback. Just a little draw play. He kind of rolled forward. That's going to be real close to it, and they are waving the sticks.
I think that was a designed quarterback draw, right? 23 Nichols went out in the flat, hoping to bring a linebacker out with him there, and he kept it and put his head down.
Good hard run there by that young man. And probably a wrinkle that they need to see a little bit out of him, gaining some yards on the ground. So they've got it out to the 43-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Single back in the backfield. They fake the jet sweep.
Yep.
And once again, Carson Noonan. Ryan Zywick, and Caleb McKean all on the ball, all with hats on the ball there. Only gain of about 1. A little bit in misdirection, trying to get the linebackers flowing a little bit.
Brunswick has a senior-dominated line who they've been looking forward to this challenge, and it is a challenge. I don't know that they have any yards on the ground yet, but they're trying to establish something. It's a swing pass out to Kavalik.
Kavalik breaks a tackle. Nice gain there of about 7.
The corner out there shed the block real nice and had him. Couldn't bring him down. It's a big kid.
So this is what Brunswick needs, right? Yeah. You've got a 3rd and 2.
That's right.
Very manageable situation. A lot of options here. They get to the line quick. 2 backs in the backfield. And they go with a hard count, and they get the Hornets again.
That's something that we can't hear up here, but that hard count was evident there, and it might have been there on those last couple as well. I'm not for sure.
And you've got to be expecting that.
Yeah.
Anything 3rd and less than 5, you've got to expect to see some hard counts. And an offense that's, if we're being honest, has struggled to move the ball the last couple weeks. They need to gain yards where they can gain yards. That moves the sticks, give them a fresh set of downs, and into Highland territory.
I was defending the D-line, and I still will, for being overzealous and going out to get it, but we got to start watching that ball. And, you can't be jumping off sides when you're right over the ball. There's another quick hitter.
And that ball slipped out of Barnett's hands. So there's the first time tonight that we're going to see the wet field conditions play a factor, as that ball was almost intercepted by Garrett Phillips. But just
that floated out there, and it just slipped right out of his hand. And we were talking about the weather, and it hasn't played a factor yet, but it did there.
So that'll make it 2nd and 10. So Brunswick with 4 receivers to the right. Bring a man in motion back in the backfield with Barnett. Short roll looking for a throwback. They get a screen set up. Well pursued by the Hornets. That's J-Mo Gordon on the stop. Yeah, nice job from his Mike linebacker spot. A lot of window dressing on that play. Moving, short roll one direction, kind of a head fake that way. But nice job there by Jamison Gordon, staying home and keeping that to just a 3-yard gain.
Well, Brunswick's trying to get their junior quarterback, first-year starter, Sean Barnett, into a little bit of a rhythm, right? Get a little confidence going. He's a good athlete, and he's got some completions early on. He looks pretty poised back there to me.
He does. Now it's 3rd and 8. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Nichols in the backfield. Looks like Coach Gibbons wants a timeout. So while we've got a second here, we'll talk about put some keys to the game. Obviously about midway, a little bit more than midway through the first quarter, but
the good thing about waiting to the keys to the game is we can already see how it unfolded a little bit. we put these on ahead of time, but we knew that Brunswick had to contain Miser. They were not able to do that on the first drive. We knew that they needed to establish something offensively on the ground. They have not yet been able to do that. And then we also thought, as from a Brunswick perspective, Jay, that they needed a strong start.
Right.
So they're working on all 3 of those things.
Right. And similarly, real quick, Highland, continue to dominate up front. They've been really good up front all year. Laser focused on going 1-0 this week.
That's right.
So we come out of the timeout. Hornets with just 3 down linemen.
3rd and
in a
8.
passing situation. And they bring that's
Faust.
Evan Faust on a blitz from his linebacker spot. He's going to get a sack on Barnett, a loss of about 7, maybe 8. And that is going to bring up a Brunswick 4th down.
And that's what happens when when you're having trouble establishing the run. We're going to see they just brought Evan Faust
right through that B gap from his linebacker position.
Yeah.
Does a nice job getting there and making the play.
That's a great play, great call.
I like that little wrinkle, just 3 down linemen, bring a 4th linebacker in the game.
We haven't seen a lot of that. It's a punt down to about the 10. Is that Dubkowski?
That is Dubkowski on the return.
Good return, close to the 30.
Drug down out of bounds.
If you're Brunswick, that's not the worst thing that could have happened. You move the ball 30, 40 yards down the field. You let your defense maybe regroup, and now they come out and see if they can't.
Well, and they ran, they ran about 8 minutes off the clock. A nice, long, sustained drive.
But by the same token, that's not a bad start for Highland's defense either. And Coach Meyer, you get to stop, you kind of bend a little bit, didn't come close to breaking, and now
we've got
now they get off the field.
Personal foul, dead ball.
I didn't see what happened.
I did not either, but that's going to back the Hornets up inside their 20-yard line to about the 19. Where Dylan Borla and the Highland offense will take over. Casey Miser in the backfield. Hornets with 2 tight ends in the game, and they're coming on a jet sweep.
Is that Girding?
Lucas Girding on the carry. Nice job there. Picks up about 6, maybe 7.
He was brought down there by Elijah Clement, junior linebacker. You're going to hear a lot of number 5, 6, and 7. Kovalik, Clement, and Jacob Barnes, the three backers there that are good ball players.
So Hornets stay in the same formation, 2 tight ends to the right. It's a fake by Borla.
What a pass.
And he's got, that's Faust. Tripped up, and what's the call?
Maybe down to the 1.
Looks like they are spotting him inside the 1-yard line.
Well, it's a number 21 on that defense didn't give up, and he went and hawked him down. But what a pass by Borla.
Well, and that's they ran that formation 2 plays in a row where you've got a tight end on the line and a tight end flexed, and that's just a little seam route out of Faust, and just nobody there to cover him. And a nice little play fake, get it out of your hands.
I was just going to say that play fake didn't hurt to draw those linebackers in. You fake it to Miser. I think it was to Miser.
So there's a give to Miser, and he will finish it off. He is in for Hornets 6 points.
I'll tell you what, that goes back to Borla. That Dylan Borla has had a really good start to this season. First-year starter. I mean, we were talking this before the game, right, Jay? He was 6 for 8 last week. He's very efficient. He's on target with his passes. And look at that. That thing was right in stride.
Yep. I mean, coming into tonight, 19 of 24, 310 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, if you're passing the ball 79% completion percentage, you're getting it done. Snap is good, hold is better, and the kick is up and through.
Well, when you have it working on both running the ball and throwing the ball, it's tough to try to stop that. You know, it's not only Miser. He gets a lot of the attention, and rightfully so, but you got guys that can get multiple guys that can run the ball, and then when you do a play action fake like that, draws everybody in. And then I think there was 3 guys going down the
Correct.
going down the field.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if he could have picked his choice there, but
well,
I know
you're putting the safeties in conflict, right?
Yeah,
and they've got to make a decision on where they're going to go in coverage. Dylan does a nice job reading it quick, getting it out of his hands, and letting his athletes do what his athletes do.
Well, I know Dylan Borla, from all that I've heard, is a very intelligent quarterback. I'm sure he game plans ahead of time. He watches the film, and he makes quick, solid decisions, is what I've seen over these first, 2.5 games.
So Kauza in to kick. That ball will be fielded at about the 6-yard line.
It's number 14. Hit hard by Faust. Colton.
Yep. Nice job there by Colton
Faust.
Coming up.
I think I saw our Kauza is a good soccer player. I think I read that he had a good game recently, or winning goal or something like that.
Yes.
From a soccer perspective.
Yes.
It's good to see the multi-sport guys. I know you like that, Jay.
I love the multi-sport guys.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of baseball players on this field tonight. Always makes me happy.
That's right.
Yeah, the boys soccer team off to a really nice start this year. Really nice start. So Barnett takes over with the Blue Devil offense.
Gives it to Nichols with
a lot of traffic in the backfield. He got off of that initial tackle, but just nowhere to go. Highland defense does a nice job rallying to the ball, and that'll be another gain. Well, nope, no gain on the play. They're going to spot it right back where it was. Noonan and Zywick in on that stop.
That's a tough feeling when you get the ball and there's just a lot of green jerseys that you're running into. 2nd and 10.
Going to bring Neal in motion again. Nice cut. Makes a couple men miss.
That's by far their best run at the game.
We do have a penalty flag in the backfield, in the area of holding.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a nice carry. Couple nice cuts. Did a nice job finding some open space. But a 10-yard holding penalty is going to back it up and make it 2nd and 20.
That's one of those where you don't know. I didn't see what impact the hold had, but it could have had a large impact.
Sure.
I did notice that he was running free, a lot freer than you're used to seeing. Well, 2nd and 20. They're thinking about getting some of this back. 2 backs in the backfield alongside of Barnett.
Both lined up
Both
to his
on
left.
the same side, yeah. Looks like we're going to.
Just a short roll. Tried to get the ball to Cooper Neal on a 5-yard out, but that was very well covered.
Yeah.
Very well.
That was Dipkowski over there.
I believe that was Josh Arvanites from his safety position.
Oh, okay.
Second receiver in on that side, and Josh did a nice job reading that, staying in his hip pocket, just giving Barnett nowhere to throw the football. So 3rd and 20, got to be ready for screens, draws. And they're going to blow this play dead. And they've got a procedure, looks like a false start. Now, I will say, they had 5 men going vertical on that play, so they were getting ready to be aggressive on a 3rd and 20.
You and I were thinking screen draw and get off the field, and they had other ideas.
And they were ready to put a ball in the air. And so Hornets with another wrinkle to the defense here. Looks like 3 safeties on the field. Going to be lined up at about 12 to 15 yards off the ball. We got a little bit of a clock issue here. They're going to put 10 seconds back on the game clock.
Man, if you're McKean and Noonan and Zywick, you're pinning your ears back on this one and getting in there.
So deep drop, looking for a middle screen. I would say well defended by the Hornets. A lot of green jerseys in the area and just made that a tough throw. So they did go with the screen, and we've got another flag down. I think they're going to get an ineligible downfield, would be my guess. My question is, was that pass behind the line of scrimmage? If so, yeah, he's going to wave it off. So if the receiver's behind the line of scrimmage, a little bit different in high school. If the receiver's behind the line of scrimmage, linemen can get downfield. So they had a quick talk, rectified that, and waved that flag off. That'll bring up 4th down, and Brunswick in punt formation. Hornets came after that a little bit. That ball's taken by Dobkowski, and a nice open field tackle by number 25.
That was a real good tackle.
That's Braden Miles from Brunswick making a nice open field tackle on Nick Dobkowski.
We're already to the end of the first quarter. 14-0 Hornets. Well, you go back to the keys to the game, and I'm thinking about what I'm seeing here. And Highland's offense is. We talked about taking this one game at a time, and they've done that with that laser focus. They came out and they came out aggressively, and they scored on both of their offensive possessions, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, the time of possession can't even be close. Brunswick's had the ball. They probably had the ball 10 minutes of the 12-minute first quarter, and but at the end of the day, it's 14-0. And the weather has, we've caught a little bit of a dry patch here, so the weather's not dictating anything right now. We saw one pass get away from Barnett that fell incomplete, but we caught a little dry spot here, so let's just enjoy this while we got it.
Yeah, I know it was pouring earlier, and it's turned into a beautiful night here in Granger Township.
So Hornets will take over at the 46-yard line as we have flipped the field.
We talked about this last week, but Friday night football under the lights, there's really nothing like it. I'm jacked up here. All right, good thing I don't have the camera on me. I'm moving.
Borla takes a snap. That's a give to Miser. Brunswick does a nice job getting that stacked up quick.
Yeah, that's Elijah Clement there on the tackle. They do a lot of blitzing and a lot of movement with their linebackers and their defensive line, doing some stunts, trying to force the action. And I don't blame them. I would keep doing more of that. You have to do something. You can't let the Highland running game beat you, right? So they got to figure it out.
So 3 receivers right. That's Girding in motion. Borla's going to keep this one. Nice carry there by Dylan Borla. Good read on that. That's one of those, he's riding that thing in there, reading a defensive end. That was well played by Brunswick. So Dylan pulled it, kept it, squirts right up the middle, picks up about 7 to make it 3rd and 1.
I think that was a great decision to keep that ball, run it hard upfield, and create a 3rd and short where you got options here.
That snap is fumbled and fallen on by Borla right at the 50-yard line. It's going to go for a loss of 5 and bring up 4th and 6.
Was that weather related?
No, I believe that was just a low snap. So Hornets in punt formation. Brunswick does the job, gets themselves off the field.
Well, they needed to. See if Highland can't pin them deep here. And who's that back? That's number 9. It's one of the captains.
Alex Hubble.
Yeah, that's Hubble.
And he's going to scatter from
Look at
that.
that.
This ball rolls down to about the 6.
Great punt. Is that Dubkowski?
It is not.
No. Who punted that ball?
That's Evan Faust.
Huh. Multi-talented there. Evan Faust can do it all.
Catches passes, makes tackles, and punts
That
footballs.
was a heck of a punt.
It was. Beautiful job.
I hadn't seen him punt all year, had he?
No.
I don't think so.
So Brunswick will take over inside the 10-yard line. Running back on either side of Barnett. That's a quick give, trying to get outside.
I don't know if they're going to get him for a face mask or.
It's a face mask or a horse collar, one of the two. It looked like number 20, Callan Whitling, was the first man there.
It was a good aggressive read and a good play. I think he got him too high.
Yep, they got him for a horse collar. So that'll be a 15-yard personal foul. Give the Blue Devils a little breathing room.
Well, you'll get out of the shadow of your own goalpost any way you can if you're Brunswick. So they have new life here.
So 3 receivers left. 1 right, 1 back in the backfield with Barnett. He takes the snap, just turns and throws it right out in the flat. A little hook and ladder. Hook and lateral, right?
That was a good play.
That was.
Who came up from the safe? Was that Phillips? Who came up from the safety?
That would have been Phillips on that side, I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, well read, though. You know, it picked up 8 yards, but that's one of those that, you know, that can be a big hitter. So a nice job being ready for that.
Well, Brunswick definitely pulls out some things like that, and they do a lot of motion, a lot of pre-snap motion designed to confuse the defense. Here it is right now. And they handed
coming
it to
on a jet
Pfahl.
sweep.
Good tackle.
And another flag coming in. That was another play that, you know, Carson Noonan did a nice job getting to heel depth and turning that play back inside.
Yeah.
We're going to get a hold on the Blue Devils, and that's going to back them up. Take them back inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. 2nd down and 12.
You know, they go from 2nd and 2 to 2nd and 12.
Right.
Changes things a little bit.
So Barnett in the backfield. Kovalik in the H-back position. He's got some pressure, has to try and throw that ball. I thought he was throwing it away, but nice job coming back.
Who hit him?
That was
hit hard.
That was Jamison Gordon from his Mike linebacker position coming out and making the stop there. Pickup of about 7, maybe 6. Going to bring up a 3rd and 6. Brunswick back to the line quickly. And that is just a quick stop route to the far sideline that caught by number 4, Brandon Gross.
That was another one of those quick hitter passes that they've been on target on tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, the receiver on the near side here was not set when that ball was snapped, but no flag thrown. There was a little confusion on who was on the line, who was off the line. But that's good for a Brunswick 1st down. bunch formation to the to the right side of the formation.
That's a great pass over the middle to Nichols. And the difference there is he had a little bit of time to throw that ball.
Yeah, that was probably the most time that he's had tonight, able to set his feet. He threw a dart.
And threw a dart. And that's a common theme when you play Highland is we've seen some good quarterbacks, and a lot of time they just don't have the time. But when they do like that was a great pass and catch. Now they're on a Highland side of the field. Nothing there for Nichols. Loss of maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Really nice play there. Looked like number 59 for the Hornets. Also in on the stop.
Is that Messina?
Just Josh Messina making a nice play there. So 2nd down and 10. Just under 7 minutes to go in the half. That snap is off to Barnett's left. He does a nice job just getting on it, covering it up. But that is going to be a loss of about 8. Making it 3rd and 16 here.
Some of the mistakes we're seeing are kind of a young team, doing some things to hurt their drives, right? They get on our side of the field,
right? And
now they got 3rd and
16. I will say it is raining again, so that could be another factor. As Barnett looking for a wheel route, that's a good throw out to the sideline. It's going to be short of the 1st down, but certainly going to put it into go for it territory.
Well, was that Callan? Was that Whitling? He had a beat on that thing, and I thought that he was going to take that back for 6. He thought he was going to too, but he didn't. He didn't get it, and we allow a big gain there.
So that's going to bring up a 4th and 1 at the 37-yard line. Certainly go for it territory here.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Barnett did that on purpose, but he threw that the only place he could to complete that pass. And Brunswick is going to call a timeout.
If that ball was behind that guy at all, Whitling's got that, and he took it back. This might be a good time to give our sponsor, Amanda Pfahl, another shout-out. Her and her team pride themselves on bringing hyper-local, personalized service to lots of current Highland families, and she looks forward to helping many more. Give them a call at 330-273-4100 or visit her website at amandapfahl.com or find her at a sporting event. They do business anywhere and everywhere, so we appreciate you, Amanda. And then we also wanted to mention that if we have an opportunity for a game sponsor coming up, and if you'd like to do something like Amanda's doing to make these happen, go ahead and visit the HAB website, and I think specifically for the Copley game.
That is correct. So looking for a game sponsor for the Copley game. Visit the HAB website. So 4th and 1, Barnett in a shotgun. He's going to go with a roll, and he's going to keep it.
Oh, he got it.
He did.
But, well,
I guess it's going to depend on the spot.
It's going to be closer. What happened was he slid.
Well, yeah, it's where you start your slide, right? It's where you start to give yourself up. This is all about the spot here.
He's going to kick himself there if he's short because he had room.
He did.
He had some room, and he slid feet first, which made it a close. I thought he had now a flag comes in from the Brunswick sideline.
So we're going to get a measurement here.
I think maybe somebody on the Brunswick sideline was questioning the spot in a way that the refs didn't appreciate.
So that'll be a dead ball foul. Won't have any bearing on first down or not here.
We did.
And that is good for a Brunswick first down.
Yeah.
Now we'll take a look and see what this flag was.
I don't know if it was a player or coach on the Brunswick sideline, but I think they might have said something. Oh, a sideline warning? Is that what that was?
It was. Okay.
So no
penalty.
no penalty,
No
just
penalty,
a warning.
Just a warning.
Okay. Let them play.
So Brunswick first down to the 36-yard line.
Well, this is a pretty good drive by
It's a really good drive.
by the Blue Devils, because they started their drive at the 5-yard line, and a couple times they shot themselves in the foot, and they've made a few long third downs.
And we've got another flag on the field.
Now a sideline warning for the Hornets. That maybe looked more like less about what we said and more about the positioning of the players. Maybe we got a little, maybe somebody was standing on the field. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I think some guys were standing on that white area maybe. I don't know.
I'm just going to no comment this.
Nope.
Let's play football.
No comment. 36-yard line, 1st and 10. And Barnett's back on his own with 4 guys to the left.
Just a quick bubble. And that is well played.
Yeah. Kovalik had nowhere to go. That was Colton Faust.
Colton Faust, nice job coming up, making the stop there.
Yeah.
So, going empty, you got to get it out of your hands quick. You don't have any extra protection in the backfield. Just try to swing it out there, but that's actually going to go for about a half-yard loss.
Half-yard loss.
Well read by Colton on that play.
Barnett's back there by himself again with 5 wideouts. There's that pre-snap motion.
So they're going to try another tunnel screen.
That was
I'll tell you what, they had a little something working there.
Yeah, they did. I think Hayden Swarm saw the opening and he got a little excited. I've done that myself. I get it, but he's gonna see the film on that and wish he's
gonna want that one back,
because he was slanting in towards the middle and the ball's coming at him and maybe it's a little bit wet. But if he catches that ball, he's gonna get a little bit of yardage there. It looked like.
So 3rd and 11. Again, go for it territory. They're gonna hope to get 6, 8, 10 yards here and make it a very manageable 4th down.
That's right. 2 backs there with Barnett. Coach Gibbons saw something he didn't like. What?
We've got a penalty on the far side.
Oh, that's what it was. Delay game.
So delay a game, that makes this significantly more difficult for Brunswick. Going to bring a 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
Again, it's still go for it territory, but that 5 extra yards definitely makes things a little bit more difficult here. Hornets standing up, both Zywick and Noonan just creeping up in the center of the formation here, and they cross on a little stunt. I'll tell you what, Barnett made a good throw there. Not a lot of room to get it. Tried to back shoulder it up the seam, but it does fall incomplete. And they are going to come out in punt formation.
They're being aggressive. I was looking for maybe a screen or draw, but they went for it all, and now they need to punt it.
So clock is stopped, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. So we're 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the half. Brunswick has run 26 offensive plays. Highland has run 8. The score's 14-0 Highland, but Highland has had the ball for 8 offensive plays so far in the first half.
It's one of those misleading stats sometimes where you see time of possession, and in this case, it's certainly
well. And if we're being honest,
misleading.
I'm sure that was part of the game plan that Brunswick wants to hold on to the ball as they're going to scatter from that punt. It's going to be downed at about the 14, 15-yard line.
Well, it's also the nature of the two offenses, right? We said that Brunswick was going to do – they're having trouble running the ball, but they're going to try to do some extensions of the run, right? Some short passes, some high percentage things that are going to keep the clock going.
It's a classic ball control offense, you know.
They might not have the home run hitter like a Miser, but they have some capable playmakers where they're trying to piece some things together. But it's hard to go 90 yards.
Yes. And I will say, you know, Cooper Neal does not look healthy, and he is not on the field right now on defense. I saw him limping a little bit, and which is unfortunate. But that ball will be given to Miser off the right side.
It's a real good tackle by 21.
It's Cohen Issa on the stop.
Yeah, he had a good game last week too. That's the only way that you're going to tackle Miser if you're Cohen Issa. I don't know the size. I don't know his size, but he's given up some weight.
6'1", 185.
But I'll tell you what, you still have you still got a 5-yard run there by Miser.
Right.
You know, even though it looked like not much was there, he fell forward.
So 2nd down and 5, 2 backs in the backfield with Borla. Fakes the handoff. And he's got Miser on a wheel route up the sideline. Weaving down to about the 42, 43-yard line.
That was a real neat play call.
That's a 34-yard gain on that play.
Did they fake it to Miser and then he continued on? On a swing pass?
I believe that's what happened.
That was a very neat design play.
Well designed and well executed.
It sure was.
So Hornets straight to the line. Borla in the backfield with Miser. Miser gets it on a sweep. Brunswick did a nice job stringing that out, only a gain of about 2 on that play.
He was trying to be patient there, Miser was, and nothing developed or opened up. That was one of the best defended plays that Brunswick's defense has had today.
Did a nice job kind of stringing that thing out. Now, it did go for about 3.
Still went for 3.
So Miser in the backfield with Borla again. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. It's going to be a give to Miser. He's met early in the backfield. A flag comes in. Jacob Barnes was first man there. That was in the area of holding. Potentially a face mask as well. And we talked last week about how clean the game was, and there was very few penalties. And
there's been at least 8 to 10 penalties this first half. Oh, perfect.
You're going to get a replay of
the wheel route to Miser. We'll cue that up.
So that was a.
Oh no,
that was a fake. That was a fake to Faust.
Yeah, it was not to Miser.
So Borla in a pistol here. That is a give to Miser. He's got a little room. Nice gain on the play. Going to pick up a first down.
Jacob Barnes brought him down. Well, now Highland's in business. It's inside the 25. First down.
3 minutes left. Hornets still have all 3 timeouts.
No, they're in no rush here.
No rush whatsoever. Hornets with 2 tight ends in the game. Borla takes a snap. There's a give to Miser off the right. Tell you what, there's some nice penetration early there from
Yeah,
from
there was.
number 4. That is Brandon Gross. Got in there and just able to disrupt it enough to he had some help coming, and that play goes for no gain.
I'll tell you what, the Brunswick defense has the edges kind of locked in a little bit.
Done a nice job.
It's those quick hitters up the middle that they're struggling a little bit with. That was a good play by Issa again, though.
Yeah, Hornets have had a lot of success on the inside zone. Outside zone's been tough sledding tonight.
Yeah, I'd say that's right.
2 backs in the backfield with Borla. He fakes to Miser.
This time.
Nothing there. He's got a lot of green space in front of him off the left side. And he is drugged down.
There's another face
and
mask.
that'll be another face mask penalty. Nice to see Dylan pop right back up from that.
What a good decision, though, again, by Borla, right?
Yeah, he got a little pressure right in his face.
Yeah, he just calmly moved out of the pocket, and he kept his eyes downfield. Nothing there. Green in front of him, and he gets 12 yards, and then you tack on the face mask, I think.
So minute 45 left. This will be a half the distance of the goal penalty. It will be a first down.
Borla moves around real good. I think I mentioned that last week as well, but it's worth mentioning again. I didn't know how he'd be coming off of that knee surgery, and he's I don't know how fast he is or isn't, but he sure looks he's got some football speed to him.
Absolutely.
You know, when he needs to get out of that pocket, he gets out, and then he turns it on and gets yardage. He had 40 yards last week, I think, on the ground.
Correct. And 70 week 1. So done a nice job in the run game as that's given to Miser off the left side. Nice cut inside down to maybe the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Nice job up front, that offensive line. So minute and 25 left here in the half. Hornets still have all 3 timeouts.
I'm not condoning gambling, Jay, but if I was a betting man, I would say that this is going to go.
I think 25's getting the football.
And he's going up the middle.
There's the give to Miser. Nice penetration.
Yes. We're not the only ones that figured that, though. So I think that was a blitzing linebacker in Elijah Clement, number 6.
Got another heavy package as looks like Messina has checked into the game and Girding coming off, getting an extra lineman in the game here for the Hornets. That was actually a loss of about 2.
Yeah, I mean, now I don't know from the 4-yard line. I'm anxious to see what we call here. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of play action here.
Agreed. 2 tight ends, 1 receiver right. Miser in the backfield. They're going to give it to Miser on a sweep off the left side, and he takes it in.
That's one of those things where we got so many weapons, Jay. Is that another flag?
There's another flag on the play. Well blocked on that edge. And Casey went in untouched.
Yeah, I think they were looking for play action there as well, and they didn't get it. It's just like there's just a lot of places to go with this offense.
Yes.
You know, I mean, is Borla going to keep it? Is he going to give it to the All-Ohio running back? Is he going to give it to Girding coming around the end? Is he going to pull it and throw it to Zukowski or somebody else out there?
So the referee's still sorting this out.
Who knows what they're.
So this has got to be some sort of a dead ball. The Hornet extra point team is on the field.
But no matter what happens, it's 20-0 with 20 seconds left in the half.
So we've got a dead ball personal foul.
Are they going to assess that on the
So the Hornets
kickoff?
will be kicking from way back on the kickoff. That's an option you have.
Yeah.
On a penalty like that in that spot. You don't have to take it on the extra point attempt. So snap is good, hold is good, kick is good.
That's Arvanites on the long snap, and is that Gibb? Grady Gibb on the hold.
That's Gibb on the hold. Kauza on the kick. So that makes it 21-0. Hornets up with 20 seconds left. in the half. Again, big thanks to Amanda Pfahl and the State Farm Insurance Agency. Visit www.amandapfahl.com. Call or text 24 hours a day, 330-273-4100. Big thanks to her for bringing this broadcast to you tonight. Staying dry, enjoying some Hornet football.
I got home last week, Jay, and saw that I thought there was 710 live stream views during the game. It's not even after the game, so this is an appreciated thing by the community that couldn't happen without our sponsors, you know?
Absolutely.
Well, there's still lots of umbrellas out there, but the rain didn't stop a lot of the fans, Jay. There's still quite a few folks that came out to see the Hornets play some ball.
Yes. Got a good crowd. We got some Hardy fans here in the Highland School District, and there's a nice Brunswick contingent, including an impressive student section from the Brunswick faithful on that side as well.
Yeah, the kids don't mind a little rain, do they?
They're probably enjoying this. So Hornets will be kicking off from the 25-yard line, which is going to bring the Brunswick return men all the way out to the 20. Some rain falling here. And the Hornets go with a squib. Well executed.
That's Swarm on the
picked up
return.
by
and nowhere to go.
Nice rally and tackle. A lot of Hornets in on that one. Looked like
number 8.
Looked like Matt Dean.
Yeah, Matt Dean and
Kyle
Metzger.
Williams, Metzger, and Lazar all on the stop there. So nice job by that kickoff team. You know, and that's something you probably don't practice that much when you get backed up 15 yards for a kickoff. So nice job squibbing that thing down and only giving them the ball on the 35-yard line. But with 11 seconds left.
What they do practice is going down and making a stick, and that's what they did. And now they've eliminated any opportunity for any type of, Hail Mary before the half.
It looks like Brunswick is going to take a knee here and take it to half.
They're going to see if they can't get in and regroup and see if they could do something here in the third quarter. But what a performance by the Hornets.
Yeah,
first half.
In just another, dominance up front. Did a really nice job up front, opening holes for Miser, giving Borla time to throw, and really the weather has not been a factor for the Highland offense. Done a nice job, moving the football and doing what they need to do.
We're going to get to watch the band here at halftime.
So we've got the Brunswick band followed by the Pride of Highland. We will be back for your second half where Brunswick will be receiving the second half kickoff. So enjoy the halftime shows, and we will be back
about 20 minutes.
In about 20 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brunswick High School is proud to present the 2024 edition of the award-winning Grand Champion Brunswick High School Marching Blue Devils. The Marching Blue Devils are under the direction of Mr. Samuel Hortzer and are led on the field by drum majors Sam Haskell and Savannah Brantelli. Tonight, the Marching Blue Devils will perform the first 3 movements of their 2024 OMEA competition production featuring music from composers Franz Schubert, Dmitri Shostakovich, Giuseppe Verdi, as well as music from the American pop rock band Imagine Dragons. Soloists include Rachel Bryan on flute, Grace Safranik on trumpet, Noah Hilt on snare drum, and visual soloists Scout Tobian and Brooke Kramer. Please enjoy Within. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Brunswick High School Marching Blue Devils! The Marching Blue Devils are grateful to share the field tonight with the Highland High School Marching Band, and we would like to wish them the best of luck the rest of their football and marching season.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the 2024 Pride of Highland Marching Band! Tonight, the Pride of Highland will be presenting their annual Senior Night Halftime Show, featuring songs selected by our seniors that they have performed from their freshman year of marching band. We open tonight's performance with a modern rock hit from the White Stripes, featuring one of the most recognizable guitar riffs of all time. Here is Seven Nation Army. With a Fall Out Boy favorite that samples the theme music from the 1960s television classic The Munsters. Here's Uma Thurman. modern hit from the electro house and dance genre. Here's David Guetta and Nicki Minaj's Hey Mama.
All right, welcome back to a very rainy North Gateway Tire Field. About a minute left in halftime here, so we're going to catch you up on some halftime stats.
Yeah, it did start to rain again hard. Just went down to the concession stand, and I'm kind of soaked. But more importantly than that is some of the stats that we're looking at here, Jay. And we have the time of possession is an interesting one because it's misleading in this case, but Brunswick has had the ball for 15 minutes and Highland has had it for 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Brunswick has run 26 plays to Highland's 15. But then when you look at yardage, Brunswick has 85 yards in the air and negative 12 yards on the ground. And Highland has a pretty even, as we anticipated, 115 yards in the air and 110 yards on the ground. So that's 225 if you're counting for Highland and 73 for Brunswick.
Yeah, and I think, like, you and I were talking, kind of at halftime, that time of possession, that's wild. That's just a wild number. But I would think that Brunswick they want to shorten the game. Yeah. They want the ball out of Highland offense hands as much as they can. So, and they were aided by some penalties and things like that extended a couple drives. They haven't been able to cash anything in yet. I'm sure that was discussed at halftime. But at the end of the day, it's 21-0, and this game is not over. So, Brunswick, I'm sure they're not happy with where they're at, but they did some things that are keeping them in a ball game here.
They could have got themselves on the board. They didn't. A big problem was big plays, right? Brunswick had none. But
right.
And Highland had at least two that I'm thinking of. Miser's 71-yard run, and then his 40-yard
he had a 40-yard
catch.
A 40-yard catch down the sideline here. So, and Casey, 10 carries, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns, the 1 catch for 40 yards. So, an efficient, dominating first half from him. And again, credit to the big guys up front. I'm just so impressed with Coyne and Noonan and Bendow and Zywick and Messina and all the guys up front and along with Faust from that tight end position and I know Caleb McKean in there at the tight end and just a lot of room to run for both Miser and Borla tonight.
Well, I'm sure the coaches told them a couple things at halftime. One of which is mission accomplished in the first half. They spread the ball around. They all had a part in it. The defense held them to 0, which I have to assume is always the goal. And then I bet you the next part of what the coaches told them is, hey, let's come out in the second half and treat it as if the score is 0-0.
Right. Absolutely. You got to stay focused here. The weather being what the weather is, that it can change quick, right? You've got a kickoff here to start the half that you've got to execute some coverage and ball bounces funny ways when it's wet. So stay focused and finish. I would assume is the overriding message from the Highland coaching staff.
And then when you look at that's right, Jay. When you look at the keys to the game that were just brought up for us, I don't want to say we hit them on the spot early on, but we might have hit them on the spot, Jay. Right? We're dominating up front. Staying focused, and I don't think Highland's had any weather issues yet. But I'm going to tell you what Coach Cole Carter is telling the Brunswick guys in the other locker room is he's a fiery guy from everything I hear. So I'm guarantee you he in an animated fashion he said, guys, this game is not over.
Right.
Okay, I don't care what the scoreboard says at the end of the game, but let's go win this first half. Let's get the ball back. The first part of the second half, I should say. We get the ball. Let's score, and then let's hold them and let's see what happens. One play at a time. I'm guessing.
Once you make it a 2-score game, it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
So you've got an opportunity here early, getting the ball first, coming out of halftime, which is why you defer that decision and you take the ball in the second half. So rain coming down. And judging by the radars that I see, I think that this is going to be status quo for the rest of the ball game tonight.
Yeah.
So
sometimes these rainy, inclement weather games are the ones that stick out in your mind
absolutely.
when you're an old man looking back
yes.
at the days. You remember the snow, you remember the rain.
Well, the older I get, the better I was, and the more it snowed, I think. So.
The more it snowed uphill. That's right.
So Calza's kick deep and into the end zone for a touchback. So that's huge. I know we talked about it last week, just not even given an opportunity for a big play in that situation as we have an injured Brunswick player down. So we've got an injury timeout on the field. let's take a minute and
Yeah, let's talk about Amanda Pfahl here for a second. Amanda's agency offers discounts for families and great discounts for all of your youthful operators. Amanda has a daughter, Sammy, that attends Granger Elementary, and a son, Graham, that attends Highland Middle School, and she's passionate about helping our schools, serves as a trustee for the Highland Foundation. Make sure to check out the highlandfoundation.com to learn more about the 20th annual Great Gifts Dinner coming up on November 16th. Okay, so we appreciate Amanda and her husband, Jeremy, getting to know the people in the community and volunteering where they can, and providing this type of telecast and live stream for us. Thank you, Amanda.
so good to see Elijah Clement up and walking off under his own power. So Brunswick will take over at the 20-yard line here. As that snap gets through the hands of Barnett, and he just has to cover it up. So, first snap of the second half, and we're seeing some factors of this rain here.
We didn't even get a chance in the first half to talk about the junior quarterback, Sean Barnett. He has a couple older brothers, Marquise and Quinn, I believe their names are. They're playing ball at Walsh and at Kent State basketball, and it's an athletic family. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Sean Barnett grow into this role here.
Well, he's a real young sophomore too, and has done a nice job tonight as he gets wrapped up and taken down.
Well, you're a young guy getting your first opportunity. I don't even know if he's 16 years old yet, and you start off your season against Berea Mid-Park, and then you get Olmsted Falls, and now you need to come to Highland. So that's a gauntlet for your first 3 games, right?
And that was Callan Whitling on the sack there for the Hornets. It's going to bring up a third
and real long.
25.
Yeah.
Barnett's going to have to take this snap with his heels on the goal line. As that snap is down, he covers it up, but that's going to be a safety for the Hornets as J-Mo Gordon gets in there.
It was a low snap, and by the time he corralled it, there was nothing he could do with a few Highland Hornets on top of him.
So tough start.
Yeah.
Two snaps.
Well, that makes it 23-0. Not what you wanted if you're Brunswick, but as far as Highland, they were very aggressive coming out of into this second half.
Yes, and hey, great job by the defense. Come in and one of the things they've been talking a lot about at practice is we're not getting the turnovers that maybe Coach Meyer wants to see. But I would think putting points on the scoreboard is going to make Coach Meyer happy tonight and get that defense fired up a little bit here. So we've got a free kick coming from the 20-yard line.
Well, that's the other thing is the defense is always playing a game within a game, right? They like that 0 on the scoreboard, and they want to keep that 0 on the scoreboard. That's for sure. And then to put points is always something fun on the film room to look on tomorrow morning and see the defense come away with a safety like that. I'm having trouble seeing through the window here, Jay. Who's back for us? Is that Dubkowski and
it looks like
I think it might be Dubkowski and Berkmeyer. Or we also have to see through the rain and the window, so
it might be Girding back there actually. So squibbed and knocked down by the front line and covered up.
Right at Whitling.
Nice job by Callan Whitling.
Yeah, because it was kicked hard right at him, and he had no choice but to just almost like onside kick style, just grab it. And
that's a live ball that
Yeah.
you got to get covered
Yeah.
up. And so Hornets take over with great field position at the 32-yard line, it appears. So interesting, interesting part of the game here. You've got the 23-point lead. I'm sure that Coach Gibbons is looking at, putting 7 points on the board, getting a running clock, and speeding this game up a little bit. Hornets in good position to do that.
yeah, a couple back split on either side of Borla.
It's Faust and Miser, and that is a give to Faust.
Ooh,
Ooh, nice stick there. Picked up a couple, but that's
a hard hit by Kovalik, but they might have got him for a little bit too much.
I think he
after the whistle.
a little excited about that tackle.
He was pushing him back, and then maybe the whistle blew, and then he threw him to the ground. Yeah.
So that'll be a 15-yarder from the spot, which I believe that was a gain of about
two or
three.
If you're Kovalik, you're saying, "Sir, I didn't hear the whistle." You know?
Right.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's raining, it's windy, and I didn't hear it.
There were 13 penalties in the first half. And the second half is getting off to
Yeah.
a similar start.
But now you got the ball down around the 13-yard line. A couple guys split out to the right. That's
There's a give to Miser. He's got a seam.
good open field tackle by 25. Miles. Yeah. Gain of 5 yards inside the 10. They can get a first down at about the 4-yard line.
So Borla with Miser on his right.
Is that
Girding
an
split out right.
maybe an extra tight end mixed
There
in
is
there?
an extra tight end. That's given to Miser. That's strung out well by that Brunswick
that
defense.
sure
That's
was.
going to go for no gain. They had that extra tight end over there. Thought they could maybe get him flanked and get a numbers advantage, but a really nice job by Brunswick stringing it out, getting Miser for no gain on the play.
Yeah, this is I'm anxious to see Brunswick, Jay, over the next couple of years, see what they do with that program, because these guys are getting after it. There's no quit in these guys.
No.
They're hitting them hard. They're playing ball.
Yes, sir.
See what Highland does on 3rd and 6 here.
And that ball
Low
goes
snap.
through Borla's hands. He recovers, makes a pass, and it's broken up.
Great play by Issa. But there's another flag here.
That was intended for Girding, I believe.
And it was a good throw, and it was a
Well, how about a nice job? That snap actually, it was low, went through his
he
hands,
corralled
hit the
it.
ground. He picked it up
He-
and was
yeah.
able to get an accurate throw off.
That's a holding on the defense. So that's going to be, is that 5 yards with a automatic first down?
I believe in
I
high school
don't-
football there is no automatic first down on defensive holding.
Good. I don't like that.
I think
anyway.
it's a silly rule myself.
Yeah, I hope there's not. If that's the case, it would be maybe.
It'll be 3rd and about 1, right?
Yeah.
The box says 4, but they already flipped it.
That's another case, though, of Borla. the kid keeps his head on him. You know, he's very poised, and that was a low snap, and he never panicked. He just picked the ball up and ran the play.
Now the box does still show 4th down.
Yeah, but it wasn't even 4th down before.
So Hornets take a timeout.
It's got to be 3rd down because it wasn't. It was 3rd down previously, right? I mean, scoreboard says 3rd down.
Yeah, so I am, and I hope that that's what they're talking about in the huddle out there. That this should be a 3rd down play.
Yep, because it was just 3rd and 6 previously, so it has to be.
I mean, it's not an automatic 1st down, but it shouldn't
get the down over.
Shouldn't count as a down. What a beautiful night for football. Huh?
Well, in its own way, it is. Just like last week was 81 and sunny, and that was a beautiful night for football.
That's right.
And now it's 65 and rain and windy. And what I'm saying is there might not be any bad weather for football.
No,
Jay.
I would agree. I would agree with that statement. And I can't complain. We're sitting in a dry box, a mostly dry press box. So yes, it is 3rd down and 1. Box has been changed. So 2 tight ends, and Borla with a little nudge. And it looks like Brunswick stacked that up pretty quick. I don't know if his initial surge was enough.
Did Borla keep that one?
He did. Did.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think it's 4th.
So it's going to be 4th and 1.
Yeah. I'm sure they're going to.
Back to a more traditional
first down.
Highland.
They did get the first down.
Okay. So there is a
Miser.
give to Miser, and another nice job stringing it out again. You know, we talked about it in the first half. It's been tough to get the edges against this Brunswick defense. Now there is a flag down too. I think we're going to get a hold against the Hornets. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the.
That's a big penalty.
Somewhere out around the 14-yard line, I would assume.
I'll
big
tell
penalty.
You. Yeah. But if you're Brunswick's defense, you like how you're containing Miser on the edges. You know.
Yes.
They really are. But that's another flag, and it goes from being 2nd and goal from the 1. To 2nd and goal.
1st and goal from the.
Well, it should be 2nd. Well, or no,
no, you replay.
Yeah. You're right. First down. First
from the 13.
12.
Looks like 12 or 13.
All right.
It's a Borland shotgun. Miser in the pistol behind him. Give to Miser. And again, a lot of room in the middle, and get back to that inside zone. And Miser finds a crease and takes it in.
That's a good play to make it 29-0.
You know, the center Ben Nowak and the guards tonight have done a nice job getting room in the middle of the formation.
Another penalty after the play. Jay, you were an offensive lineman. It seems to me that when our offensive line's job is to knock the guy's hat off across the line and go right
north and
south, north and south, we're doing that, right? When they're stringing it out to the sides, it's a little bit different of a ball game, but we're taking advantage of our size and our strength up front.
Yes.
Right, going right at him, and that was a 12-yard touchdown run, or good run by Miser, good blocking up front.
So we've got an unsportsmanlike on the Hornets that'll back them up on the kickoff again. So, no, I think you're absolutely right. And again, credit to especially the outside linebackers from Brunswick have done a nice job, coming up and just not letting the Hornets get the edge very often today.
We haven't seen anybody stop our running game around the edges yet.
Right.
So, I mean, not that they've stopped it, but they've certainly curbed it. That's good. So
I'll tell you what, now
It's a good
That
job by
was
Gibb.
a great job by Grady Gibb
Yeah.
on that hold. That ball one-hopped him, and he did a nice job smothering it, getting it on the block, and Kauza didn't panic. Took that extra half a count and still got the ball up and through the uprights for the extra point. So that does indeed make it 30-0. That will bring on the running clock here in the second half.
No, that's a good job by Gibb, that holder. I mean, that ball's rolling back to you or hitting off the wet turf. And for him to scoop it up and still get it down, and for Kauza to kind of wait a half second, his timing was a little bit disrupted still, to find a way to get it through the uprights was good. So now we're kicking off from – did they march us? I don't see where they marked off the penalty.
Okay, I could have been totally wrong. That penalty might have been on Brunswick. I think the Hornets might be kicking off from the Brunswick 45 here in a second.
Yeah, well, our coaches are saying that it should be not our 40 but their 45, which you're right, would indicate that was on Brunswick there.
Yeah, so whatever happened after Miser got in for that score, that's what this penalty is.
Well, there's some frustration, when you're losing, and you got to keep your composure, keep your head on straight, learn from it, and move on. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Kauza either boot this thing off the scoreboard or maybe try to land it at the goal line and see if they can't pin him deep.
My guess is he's going to try and put it through the uprights.
Yeah.
Just because why not?
Why not? And he might have. I think he did. Kid's got a leg.
Yes, he does. So that'll be a touchback. Brunswick will take over at the 20-yard line. 7 minutes and 45 seconds left.
That was a decently long drive there. Our defense is looking to get back out there and see what they could do. You got Barnett in the backfield with Nichols. Ball is in motion. Good hard run, but only for a couple yards.
Just a little counter play, trying to get something going on the ground. Like you say, picked up a couple.
That was Gordon and Whitling and probably McKean.
They'll bring a 2nd and 8.
Two backs back by Barnett. Hands it off to Nichols.
Breaks the tackle off the edge. And gets it out across the 40 to the 43, maybe 44.
That might be their biggest play, one of their biggest plays of the game.
Yes.
We had a shot at him early, and I didn't bring him down. And that kid can play. Kid runs hard. Nichols. Well, they got it out to midfield.
And that ball's on the ground. Another nice job getting it covered up by Nichols. This is one of those nights where the spread can be an issue, right? I mean, everything's a shotgun snap. There's a lot of ball handling going on, and every snap is another potential disaster, as we've seen 4 or 5 rough ones here early.
When you have a spread offense, you don't want to see this. You don't want to see a downpour.
Funny thing is, it's what everybody runs anymore.
Well, got 3 or 4 yards up the middle.
Yeah, that was Nichols again.
Yeah.
So bring up a 3rd and 8. Barnett in the gun. Nichols to his left. That's off of Barnett's hands again. Covered up by Barnett.
Yeah, they're just having trouble now. They're having some trouble. It's as wet as it's been out there.
Yes.
I think they do a pretty good job of keeping the ball dry, but now it's 4th and long. And they got the punting unit in.
So Dubkowski and Berkmeyer back deep to return the punt. As that snap goes through the punter's hands, he regains control and gets off a nice punt.
Yeah, he did.
Hornets happy to let that one drop, and it is down at about the 30-yard line where the Hornet offense will take over. So 4 minutes left. Clock stops on a change of possession here. We're getting to the time of the game where we're going to start to see some fresh faces.
Yeah.
It looks like the starting offensive line still in the huddle here for Coach Gibbons, which I assume means that Borla will still be in the game as well.
I'm seeing all the starters go out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see one more drive,
Yes,
and then that might be it.
Kyle Williams split out left. That's Girding in the slot, and Berkmeyer down here near side right on a give to Miser. Up the middle, good tough run. He's met in the backfield early by number 5.
Cavalis.
But once again, and we've talked about it a lot, but the initial contact often doesn't get it done with Casey Miser, as he's still able to pick up about 3 yards.
I think he got hit at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
And carried a good-sized middle linebacker, Kavalik, a couple of yards. 2nd and 7.
That give is to Faust. He's got a nice hole off the left side. Squirts through. Looks like it might be good for it is good for a Hornet first down.
That's a good run by Faust. He is shifty and quick, isn't he?
And you know what I liked about that? That it was an off tackle, but again, just patient. Let that hole open up.
Yeah.
Gets through. Now we do have a penalty. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. I didn't even see that. Now I see it.
So I guess we should just assume that every play.
So that goes from a first down out past the 40 to a 2nd and 13 inside of our 25-yard line.
Referees are going to have to ice their shoulders down tonight from throwing these flags.
Wow. Is that Faust?
That is Faust again.
He was hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Fought forward for what, 4, maybe 5?
Yeah, and then at least, 5.
So I'll bring up a 3rd and 9.
Faust, our main running backs, Faust and Miser, have certainly some similarities. They're both patient. They both can break tackles.
Yes.
And
they're actually very similar size.
Yeah, they're good-sized guys. They both run hard.
So 3rd and 8. That is Faust in the backfield again. In the pistol behind Borla. Just going to go on a give right up the middle.
Wow.
Faust breaks free. Coming to the sideline across the 40. Inside the 35. Down to the 34-yard line. So on a 3rd and 8. Picks up a 36-yard run for a first down.
What a really good cut. It was right up the gut, and then instead of just being happy with 10, 12, 14 yards and a first down, he saw something that I didn't even see from up here. He cut it out to the sideline and gained another 25 yards. That's that vision, right? We
Yes.
didn't even mention, we talked about patience and ability to cut and things like that, and speed and toughness and size, but how about the vision that these guys have to see that? Good play. Good play by that young man.
So Hornets going to take a timeout. I see a lot of substitutions getting ready to come in here.
Okay.
Looks like Grady Gibb may be coming in the game at quarterback. So another big thank you to Amanda Pfahl, State Farm Insurance agent. You know, we wouldn't be here without her, and you wouldn't be dry without her as well tonight. So big thanks to her. Visit amandapfahl.com. Please reach out 330-273-4100. So here we go. Grady Gibb is indeed in at quarterback. Looks like Lazar lined up behind him in the pistol. The give is to Lazar.
Wow. Great run. Brought down by Kovalik, but that's a – how about that? You bring Lazar in, and he picks up right where the other guys left off. Same type of thing. Patience, vision, shifty, and hits it.
Well, they brought the tight end across the formation. He was lined up in a flexed formation, came across, kicked out that defensive end. Nice job by Dylan reading that block. So we're at 18 penalties for 160 yards tonight.
Oh, gosh.
And that'll be the final play of the third quarter.
Well, the boys are holding up their fingers for the fourth quarter. Another one-sided quarter, really. I mean, once again, though, Brunswick had a couple of plays. We thought they might have had something moving, and they just can't. They can't sustain the drives.
Right.
Is what they can't do.
Yep.
And Highland had a couple more big plays. 30-plus yards runs a couple of times, and it's just.
A little bit of the bend but don't break kind of defense tonight, which I know that that's not the way that Coach Meyer wants to see it get played out. But a lot of that has been attributed to some penalties, and they're not giving up yardage.
No.
So
I was going to say they haven't really bent too much. I mean, they had 85 yards, I think, total yards in the first half, or maybe 73, and they didn't have too many yards there either. I don't think they've ever got inside of. I think they've ever been inside of our 30, have they?
I don't believe so.
But now Highland's got the ball on about the 11-yard line.
I give us to Lazar. He's got a crease. He is in.
That's a good run.
And he is in the end zone for another Hornet touchdown. Nice cut off that right side, just an outside zone play.
That's another underclassman, right? Lazar's a junior, and then you have Faust as a sophomore, and
Correct.
you got Casey as a junior.
Correct.
Jeez.
So Kauza in for the extra point. That is still Gibb holding, and I believe that is still Arvanides with the snap. That's a great snap. Gets it down and through.
And you know darn well when that second team comes in, they want to continue on what the first team did, and they take pride in that. You come in and like the sixth man on a basketball team, or like that second unit, you want it to be seamless, and they were. They picked up and they came in and maybe about the 30-yard line, and they 2 or 3 plays it took them, and they punched it in. Well done.
Very well done.
And I'll tell you what, one of our keys to the game, we talk about it, but it was the weather. And out in the third quarter, it seemed as though that Brunswick kind of for the first time really let the weather get them. There was 4 or 5 snaps that were not handled.
Correct.
But Highland really hasn't had too many that I can think of. Maybe the low snap on the extra point, but outside of that,
there was one there, and there was one that Dylan did a nice job getting and threw an incomplete pass. There ended up being a penalty on the play.
Yeah, that's right.
But
for the most part, they've handled this weather and still been able to run their offense, both even in the air.
That is a short kick picked up on one hop. Forced to the sideline and eventually goes out at about the 27-yard line.
I'll give a shout out to my wife, Marie. She sent me this text, Jay, before the game. She said those boys better hold on to the ball. She should have wrote our keys to the game.
She should have.
Because she wasn't wrong.
She knows more about football than you do, probably.
Yeah, well, let's not get carried away, but.
And another snap.
Yeah.
Low.
Oh.
And Brunswick does eventually fall on it.
They got the second team offense in there. That's a different quarterback in there. And that was a low snap that never gave him a chance.
Yeah.
Well, they got second in about 30, maybe.
Another snap hits the turf, and that tackle made by I did not see the number on that. So 2 tough snaps all the way inside the 5 down to about the 3-yard line for third down. So Brunswick going under center this time. There's a give to 22 off the left side.
That was a good tackle.
That was a nice tackle. Looked like number 44 for the Hornets, Ryan Haney. Nice tackle on the edge there.
Yeah, it sure was.
So 4th down. Berkmeyer, the lone man back to receive the punt. He's going to, the ball is hopping, and he's going to stay away from it as it rolls out to right at midfield at the 50-yard line, where the Hornets will take over. 6 minutes, 53 seconds left. Clock still running after the change of possession here.
Well, these guys getting some time here are looking forward to their opportunity to play here, you know, and they're this game is not over to either side of the ball in terms of some meaningful plays. Some young guys that maybe haven't had an opportunity to play on a Friday night yet.
It looks like Tommy Fern, Johnny Pavlock in on the offensive line, along with Brock Leatherman also in. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to the production guys tonight.
Yeah.
Braving the elements. making our lives easy. And we just try to not make them look bad. But, big thanks to Brianna, Eric, Nate, Brian, Andrew.
I've had a chance to get to know this team here, and I didn't know all that went on behind the scenes and the amount of talent that's up here to make all this happen. So it's an honor to be up here with this crew. Thanks, guys.
Yes. So giving the shotgun, that is a give to number 29.
And another flag, you'll be shocked, Jay, to see that.
No, that's Colton Winston on the carry.
Okay.
Colton's big brother down at Ohio U pitching baseballs these days. Nice carry there by Colton, but it's going to be called back.
Does Colton play baseball as well or no?
He does.
Okay, I
He
figured
does.
he might. I
think Coach Winston wouldn't have it any other way.
That's a good point. So they called up what they call holding on us?
Yes. So we're going to back it up. We've got 185 yards in penalties tonight. So
that's a lot.
Well, Gibb keeps this one, but he is taken down by number 4. It's Brandon Gross on the tackle for Brunswick. Bring up second down and about 18.
Yeah.
JP Quinn split out wide right. That's Winston on a cutback. Nice pickup there by Colton.
Good run by the sophomore.
Yeah, nice gain there and get it back to a third and very manageable with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the ball game here. Third and about 3. Winston still in the backfield as Gibb is going to let that play clock wind down. It's inside of 10 seconds now. Takes a snap. That's another give to Winston off the left side. I think that's going to be good enough for a Highland first down. Picked up about 4 on the play.
The way that it works is a lot of these guys are new to us viewers, but they're not new to the program. What I mean by that is to string these years that Highland has seemingly every year, what you have to do is develop your 9th graders and your 10th graders, right? So this is the first time some of us are seeing these guys.
Right.
But those of you that have been watching the 8th grade games, the freshman games that you're coaching, the JV games,
right.
And it's a pipeline of talent and of good coaching, and it speaks to the program and what they're doing.
And a lot of credit to Coach Gibbons and his staff. And
that's right.
I was involved with the 8th grade program as Winston gets another carry. Just kind of gets his head down to get a little something there for a couple yards. But, I coached 8th grade, so the now sophomore class. I had them with the 8th grade, and it's fun to see them on a Friday night, see Colton getting some carries and Ryan Haney making a tackle earlier. And, you work with those guys, and it's a culture. It's a program. It's a culture. And, like you've said a couple times, they get these opportunities. They expect to perform on a Friday night. So it's awesome to see them out on the field getting to do that.
And these guys are going to be the ones you're seeing in the first quarter of the games next year and the following year.
Correct. That was Dylan Lazar on the carry that time. Out to midfield, picked up about 1. Trying to get a couple more numbers for you here. Looks like number 71, Wyatt Sitz, another sophomore in the game. Playing right guard. So again, letting that play clock wind inside of 5 seconds before he takes a snap. Another give to Lazar off the right-hand side, a little outside zone, and look at them pushing a pile. Pushing a pile. Good for a Hornet first down.
That's cool to see these young men in there pounding, grinding.
And I just saw Grady Gibb go to the referee, and the Hornets going to get into the victory formation and take a couple knees here.
Yeah.
So while we got a couple seconds, what do we got next week? We got Copley coming to town, right?
Copley.
So we got Copley coming to town next week as Grady takes knee number 1 here.
Have you done any research on Copley yet?
You know what? I'm a one game at a time kind of guy.
Well, that's what I'm. That's the same here. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
we'll dive in. We'll dive in probably tomorrow. But
we'll break down the tape from a fundamental standpoint.
That's
we will.
That's absolutely right. No, but we will be back with you next week for the Copley game. One of those rare schedule oddities where you get 3 home games in a row. So we'll be back next Friday with you as the Hornets will take on the Copley Indians. So final score from here at North Gateway Tire Field, 37-0. What an impressive, I think, in all phases tonight. I love what I'm seeing from the offense. We talked a lot about the weapons, but the way they're getting them all involved.
Yeah, from the opening drive right through this last drive, from the first string to the third team, all the guys came together. They all contributed, and that's a good team win. Now you enjoy it tonight, and you come back in the morning and you break it down and see how you could get better.
Right.
That's what good teams do, right? I know that's what Coach Gibbons and Coach Meyer and the crew is going to do, is say, hey, good job, fellas. Let's keep on getting better.
Yes, yeah, and there's some things to learn from tonight, certainly, and I mean, if anything, they're going to talk about penalties. There was a lot of penalties on both sides, but at the end of the day, a lot of penalties that extended drives and kept Brunswick's offense on the field and gave them that huge time of possession advantage there in the first half. So, but defensively, at the end of the day, it's a shutout. So it's you're 3-0, and you got through your non-conference 3-0. Now you dive into conference play, and you're chasing a conference title starting next week.
You go in healthy. You go in as a team that's got some experience now. Even the new guys have a few games under their belt, and they go get it. So, good job, Coach Jay, being up here with you guys.
Hey, always
appreciate
good.
it.
Big thanks to the production staff again. Look forward to seeing everybody next week. Have a good night.
All right, good night.